And now to South Africa. The South African Ministry for Energy and Electricity says the technical group of the G20 presidency has affirmed the need for an equitable energy transition for Africa. Speaking to his keynote address earlier today at the G20 Africa Energy Investment Forum in Johannesburg, the minister says Africa's quest for a just energy program is a fight for sovereignty and ingenuity that will the continent harness all the resources it has to accelerate the execution of its energy sustainability. Let's take a listen.
Chua, the Minister of Hydrocarbons, Republic of Congo, the CEO of AUDA, NEPAT, Ms. Nandos Bekele Thomas, and our great friend Ayuk, the Executive Chairman of African Energy Chamber, the CEOs of industry, leaders of international organizations, representatives of civil society, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Let us acknowledge that the dialogue we enter into today extends far beyond the language of infrastructure, finance, and technology. At its core is a profound moral question, the question of energy justice. It is the unwavering conviction that access to energy is a fundamental human right and not a privilege allocated by geography, weather, or circumstance. It is the belief that no African child should be born on the wrong side of a transmission line, destined for darkness, while others live beneath an unbroken canopy of light. It is the assertion that development cannot be rationed, postponed, or selectively granted. It is the insistence that the dignity of our people must never be negotiated. There are moments in the life of a people when history pauses and holds its breath. Moments when a continent gathers its full weight of its past and the full possibility of its future and chooses a new direction. Today is such a moment. We stand on African soil. We stand in Johannesburg. We stand in a city that has known struggles and conquests, suffering and triumph, darkness and illumination, and through it all refused to surrender its belief in a future of dignity and justice. Across our continent, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Indian Ocean, from the Sahara to the Cape Alcalas, a powerful truth resonates. Africa stands at the most consequential turning point in modern history. Our continent is rising. Our young people are declaring their place in the world. Our economies are poised to transform. Our resources, our ingenuity, and our determination are unmatched. And yet, the full potential of Africa will remain unrealized until energy becomes abundant, accessible, affordable, and secure. The world is transforming at an extraordinary pace. Yet, for Africa, the energy transition is not a technical puzzle or an abstract policy debate. It is a profound struggle for justice. It is a fight for dignity. It is a declaration of sovereignty. It is a refusal to accept that a continent so rich in sunlight can remain trapped in darkness, or that a people so rich in ingenuity can remain restricted by the limits of infrastructure they did not choose, and by financial systems that do not serve them. Energy is not simply electricity. It is the currency of human possibility. Without it, hospitals fall silent. Learning stalls, factories stand idle, and dreams wither before they are born. But when energy flows, society awakens, hope expands, industry roars, and history accelerates. Consider Mariama, a 14-year-old girl in Freetown who studies each night beneath a street lamp because the lights in her home do not turn on. Consider Kemi, a woman entrepreneur in Lagos whose refrigerated goods depend on a generator that devours her profits. And consider Kagiso, a brilliant young innovator in Gaborone who designs for advanced robotics and clean technologies, cannot take flights because of greed, cannot carry the dreams he is ready to build. When we speak of megawatts, gigawatts, and grids, we speak of their lives. If they rise, Africa rises. This is the moral center of the African energy struggle. It is not merely economic. It is not technocratic. It is a battle for justice. It is a fight for sovereignty. It is the insistence that access to energy is a human right and not a luxury reserved for the wealthy or the fortunate. It is the uncompromising belief that Africa refuses to inherit the lowest rung of a global system designed to benefit others before it benefits us. And it is this conviction that guided South Africa's presidency of the G20 Energy Technical Working Group. The Technical Working Group secured historic achievements that rewrite Africa's place in global energy governance. The G20, under South Africa's presidency, adopted a full consensus, a global commitment to accelerate access to clean cooking solutions, a commitment that seeks to protect forests, restore health, and liberate nearly 1 billion Africans from a daily struggle that shortens life and suppresses opportunity. The G20 Technical Working Group recognized that energy poverty is not an African inconvenience, but a systemic global risk. The world's most powerful economies affirmed a collective responsibility to expand access, strengthen security, and support transitions that are genuinely just and equitable. And critically for Africa, the G20 affirmed the inviolable principle that every nation has the sovereign right to pursue a transition consistent with its developmental ambitions, its resources, inheritance, and its historic circumstances. These are not ceremonial gestures. They mark a profound moral realignment. They signal that Africa will no longer be positioned as a recipient of instruction, but as a partner in shaping destiny. Africa today stands as a region with the lowest transmission access per capita in the world. Brazil alone possesses more transmission lines than 38 African nations combined. And our per capita grid length is between 5 and 7 times lower.